When you think of flamingos, you probably picture these stunning birds, all pink and elegant, just waiting gracefully in some serene, tropical lagoon, right? And honestly, that's often the image we get. But what most people don't realize is that for many of these incredible creatures, life is far from a tranquil, pink paradise. In fact, it's often an epic, grueling, and frankly, super perilous journey. We're talking about a level of endurance and danger that's pretty hard to wrap your head around. Today, we're diving into the extraordinary world of the Andean flamingo, a species that calls some of the most extreme environments on Earth home. Every year, as seasons shift and vital food sources dwindle or become inaccessible, these birds are driven by an ancient, powerful instinct. They have to move. It's not a choice, it's a matter of survival, a desperate pilgrimage across vast, unforgiving terrains in search of new, temporary feeding grounds and, eventually, safe places to breed. It's a story written in their very DNA. Their journey begins in the breathtaking, but incredibly harsh, high-altitude salt lakes of the Andes Mountains, particularly in countries like Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, and Peru. These are some of the highest lakes in the world, often sitting at over 4,000 meters, which is wild, by the way. Imagine starting your epic journey from an elevation where most humans struggle just to breathe. This environment, while stunningly beautiful, presents immediate and constant challenges for birds adapted to such unique conditions. Let's be specific for a moment. We're focusing on the Andean flamingo, Phoenicopterus andinus, one of the rarest flamingo species globally. They're unique, easily identified by their pale pink plumage, yellow legs, and a black tip to their bills. These aren't your average zoo flamingos. Their entire existence is tuned to these extreme Andean conditions, making their long-distance migrations even more remarkable. They've evolved over millennia to handle the thin air, the intense UV, and the specific, often toxic, brine shrimp and algae found here. When the time comes, it's a truly spectacular sight. Thousands upon thousands of these flamingos gather, their pink bodies a vibrant contrast against the stark blues and browns of the high-altitude landscape. Then, almost in unison, they take flight. This isn't just a casual hop, it's a coordinated, energy-intensive takeoff, a massive aerial ballet as the flock ascends to incredible heights. They gain altitude quickly, ready to navigate mountain passes and vast plains, their wings beating tirelessly in the thin air, marking the true beginning of their monumental journey. One of the most immediate perils they face is the altitude itself. Flying at such elevations means the air is significantly thinner, making every wing beat demand more energy. It's a bit like trying to run a marathon at the top of Everest, but you also have to fly. Oxygen levels are drastically reduced, which can be exhausting even for birds adapted to it. They have larger lungs and more efficient blood cells than other species, which helps, but it doesn't make the journey easy. This is a constant drain on their energy reserves from day one. Their migration routes span hundreds, sometimes even thousands, of kilometers across landscapes that offer little to no sustenance along the way. Imagine flying for days, burning massive amounts of calories, with no gas stations for a quick snack. They rely heavily on the fat reserves they've built up, but those only last so long. If they can't find suitable briny lakes with their specific algae and invertebrates quickly enough, starvation becomes a very real and present danger. It's a race against their own body's limits, Even while airborne, they're not safe. High above the mountain peaks, powerful raptors like the Andean condor patrol, always on the lookout for a vulnerable flamingo. A tired or young bird, separated from the main flock, becomes an easy target. The sheer size and power of a condor against a flamingo is a stark reminder of the food chain in action. The flock tries to stay tight, using safety in numbers, but the constant threat means they have to be vigilant, adding another layer of stress to an already grueling journey. Then there are the landscapes themselves, which are often just as dangerous as any predator. Imagine flying over vast, shimmering salt flats, like Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, one of the largest in the world. They might look like water from above, a cruel mirage to an exhausted bird desperate for a landing spot. Landing on these incredibly harsh, crystalline surfaces can be disastrous. The salt can damage their delicate skin and feet, and there's absolutely no food. It's a vast, empty, glittering trap. And let's not forget the geology of the region. The Andes are a highly volcanic area, which means these birds often fly over active or dormant volcanoes. Ash clouds can obscure their path, cause respiratory issues, and contaminate crucial water sources. Even worse, sometimes they have to navigate around sudden eruptions. Imagine flying through what should be a clear sky, only for a volcano to spew ash and smoke, forcing a sudden, energy-draining detour. It's a reminder of how truly wild and unpredictable their environment is. High altitudes also mean intense solar radiation. The sun's UV rays are far stronger up there, especially when reflected off salt flats. While flamingos have some natural protection, the constant exposure during days of flying can take a toll. Dehydration is another massive concern. They're often seeking highly saline lakes, but even finding fresh water for basic hydration can be incredibly difficult in this arid environment. Every drop of water counts, and they need to make every stop count too. Sadly, not every flamingo makes it. Some succumb to exhaustion, others to predators, and still more to the harsh elements. It's a stark reality of migration, and natural selection played out on a grand scale. You'll see individuals falling behind, struggling to keep pace, or simply giving up. It's a somber part of the story, but it also highlights the immense perseverance of those who continue. Every bird that reaches the destination has truly earned its place, having overcome unimaginable obstacles. Despite the constant dangers, there are moments of brief reprieve. The flamingos will find small, temporary lakes, often rich in the briny algae they need, where they can rest, refuel, and rehydrate. These stopovers are absolutely crucial. They'll spend a few days, sometimes just hours, voraciously feeding, rebuilding their energy stores, and socializing within the flock. These aren't luxurious breaks, though. They're vital pit stops in a race against time and exhaustion, and every second spent recuperating is precious. After weeks of flying, battling elements, and dodging threats, there's a tangible shift in the flock's energy. They're weary, yes, but also driven by the imminent promise of their destination. The sight of a familiar landmark, a distant glimmer of the specific mineral-rich lakes they're heading for, reignites their purpose. The rhythm of their wing beats, though tired, takes on a new urgency. This is the final, punishing push, where every ounce of remaining strength is summoned for the ultimate prize, survival. And then, finally, they arrive. The vast, often shallow, hypersaline lakes of their destination spread out before them, a welcome sight after their monumental effort. There's a collective sense of relief that almost seems palpable as they descend, their long legs gracefully touching down in the shallow waters. This isn't just any lake, it's one with the specific, rare algae and invertebrates that only they can consume, providing the exact nutrients they need to recover, thrive, and prepare for the next vital stage of their life cycle. Once they've settled, the birds immediately begin to feed, their specialized filter-feeding bills working tirelessly to extract tiny organisms from the water. This intensive feeding period is crucial. It's where they regain the weight they've lost, restore their vibrant pink plumage, which comes from the carotenoid pigments in their food, actually, and build up the energy reserves necessary for breeding. This lake is literally a lifeline, allowing them to recover from their ordeal and prepare to bring new life into the world. With their energy restored, the focus shifts to the next generation. They begin their elaborate courtship rituals, a synchronized dance of head flagging and wing saluting. Soon, nesting colonies form. Flamingos build conical nests from mud, patiently incubating their single, precious egg. The birth of a chick, tiny and gray, is a testament to the success of the migration, a fragile beacon of hope for the species. It means the parents survived, and the cycle of life, however arduous, continues. The chicks, once hatched, face their own set of challenges. They are vulnerable to ground predators, harsh weather, and the ever-present threat of a dwindling food supply if conditions change too rapidly. Parents work tirelessly to feed and protect them, but the early weeks are critical. The small, gray chicks, a stark contrast to their vibrant parents, represent the future of the species, and their survival is paramount. It's another struggle, but one filled with the hope of continuation. As the chicks grow and fledge, the seasons begin to turn again. The cycle, though briefly paused for breeding, is always in motion. These young flamingos will one day undertake their own perilous journey, guided by the same ancient instincts as their parents. The migration of the Andean flamingo is more than just a search for food, it's a profound testament to resilience, a dramatic dance with danger, and an enduring symbol of life's relentless will to find a way, no matter the odds. It's truly an awe-inspiring story, isn't it?